Have you ever been locked out of your own property? Yeah, you know, you forgot your keys or you slammed the door on yourself. Yeah, not the end of the world, because normally you go around the back garden and you hop in that open window in the back, yeah? Cool. Well, I actually got locked out of one of my investment properties, all right? And it wasn't by mistake, it was by a naughty serviced accommodation guest. On this video, I'm gonna share the story. Simon here, the founder of Rent to Rent 2.0, where I create massive cash flow from properties that I don't own and then buy properties that I do own for long-term legacy wealth, all right? I built a 7-figure rent to rent revenue business and I have a 7-figure property portfolio that I built over the past few years. And I do these videos just to help you for absolutely free, because I know how easy it is to spend a ton of money on property courses that don't really cut it. And I don't want you to suffer. And I wish that I had me when I started. Boom. So let me tell you this story. And there's a huge lesson to be learned here. So if you're in serviced accommodation or if you're in HMO, please listen to the end, because this stuff could save you money, save you time. In fact, it could even save you your freedom. So it's serious stuff. Now, in serviced accommodation, you get guests that come and stay, right? 2 nights, 5 nights, 5 weeks, 5 months, whatever. But they've not got tenancy rights to the property, right? Well, I found out the hard way. So let's just say, for example, a guest stays with you for 3 nights on Airbnb. And then they contact you and say, hey, can I stay an extra week, and pay direct to save money? And you think, yeah, cool. Direct booking. This is what I've been after. This is what Simon said, right? Cool, but not cool, because I was inexperienced at the time. So what I decided to do was I had all their details from the Airbnb and stuff, right? I had their ID and this, that, and the other. So I was kind of comfortable with it. So I let my guard down. And what ended up happening was I blocked out the calendar on Airbnb and I let them stay, okay? I charged them money. That was fine. They paid the money. They were in the property. It was about after 4 days, I was touching base with them, saying, hey, just checking in. Do you need to extend further? How's it going? Didn't hear back. Thought, odd. That night, same thing. Give them a call. Phone dead. Following day, they should be checking out at 10 a.m. and I give them a call. Nothing. Cleaners go there. They can't get in. So what's happened? I don't know to this day how this happened, but they'd found a way to get both of the sets of keys out of the key safe, and they'd locked the property from the inside and shut all the blinds. They'd barricaded themselves in. And when I looked at my paperwork, I didn't have the right paperwork. In fact, they technically weren't even supposed to be in the property because their Airbnb booking had gone. And I'd stupidly not sent them a direct booking agreement with the terms and conditions. Very, very silly. Because then essentially what you've got is you've got somebody that's in a property that you can't prove is not a tenant. So technically they've now got some type of rights to the property. So I had to involve the police. I gave the police a call and said, look, I've got these people. I need them out of the property. And they pushed me away. They said, no, didn't push me, but they said, no, it's a civil matter. Went down to the property and tried to knock on the door. Nothing. I'm not gonna go into too much detail with the rest of the story, but what I will say is I learned the hard way that it is against the law to enter into a property, even if you own it, when somebody's in there and doesn't want to be disturbed, which is mental. You own the property, somebody's in there as a serviced accommodation guest, but they're out of contract, and you cannot sort of remove them from the property. That is against the law. And if they feel intimidated or whatever, you cannot do that. So I learned a few things. Number one, never ever forcefully, try and get into a property when somebody is in there and doesn't want you in the property. Just don't do it. It's a recipe for disaster. Number two, whenever there's a party or altercation or issue at a property like this, it's tempting, but don't personally go down there. Okay, it's far better for you to call them, to call the police, to knock, to get a solicitor involved. Like, don't physically get involved, because we're doing this for financial freedom, not to get financially locked up. And things can quickly escalate. The third thing I learned was make sure that you know who's in your property at all times, and that you've got the necessary paperwork to show in which regard they are in that property. So if it expires on Airbnb, don't just take it for granted. That agreement's gone. As far as everybody's concerned, they are not supposed to be in that property. You've got no paperwork. You do not have a leg to stand on. So that's the realness, man. Learned the hard way. I will never, ever do that again, all right? And I recommend that you don't too. If you find stories like this useful, do me a favor, just comment below and put story, all right? Comment below and put story, and I'll do more real life stories. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my goodness, well, what agreement will I need if that happens? Well, look, renttorenagreements.com, I've put together all the agreements that you need for this stuff, taking into consideration all these lessons. So if you want the correct agreements and you want all the compliance stuff that you're going to need to do this stuff correctly, head to renttorenagreements.com. It's all available there. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Subscribe if you're brand new, and I'll see you in the next video.